up? It's your boy T-Bear here in reaction. Today is Music Monday, so we about to get into some direct production. What had happened was, as you know, I'm doing collection of the keyboard based instruments that's been production tools that's shaped hip hop for quite a while as well too though. And this one we're going into another one by KORG. This is the KORG KRONOS. So without further ado, we're gonna see how what had happened was with the KORG KRONOS and what it done in the music industry, as well as hear some cool funny commentaries from Mr. Direct Production himself as well too. So let's get it.
Hi, this is Rich Formidoni from KORG. Today we're in the studio with KRONOS, and I'm going to show you setlist mode.
What's up? You got your boy Direct, aka Native Shades, reminding you to like and subscribe, because today we're going to be talking about the KORG KRONOS. What had happened was the KORG KRONOS. Now, around 2011, KORG decides to drop their flagship keyboard workstation. This was supposed to be the workstation of all keyboard
Look at that joint.
You had 16 audio tracks, 16 MIDI tracks, an 8-inch color touchscreen, 2 gig of memory, 30 gig SSD hard drive, no latency at all. You had auto chop, time stretch, real-time time stretch.
Wow.
KORG threw the book at this workstation. It was supposed to give you everything you needed. The KORG KRONOS had 9, count them, 9 sound engines. They had the infamous MS-20 used by Daft Punk and the Gorillaz.
Wow.
Or the world-known Poly 6. You ever heard this song? Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. Tears for Fears used the Poly 6. It has the synthesizers that gives them that. That joint is crazy. Or like my people from Philly would say, that joint is crazy.
Oh, he's from
Most
Philly.
Most of the gear you have has one sound engine. Like the SP1200, that's one sound engine. That 12-bit that we love, that's one engine. The KORG KRONOS has 9 engines, 9 sound engines. Each sound engine perfectly curated for the instrument it's representing. So tell me, how much do you think the price was?
I always want to know.
Like this. I'll wait. The KORG KRONOS was about $3,700 to about $4,700.
Okay,
depending on the size of the keyboard you're getting. And
also,
also, if you
more.
want their additional sample libraries, that'll run you about another $3,000. So altogether, you're looking at like 8 G's for a KRONOS.
There we go.
If you
That's
really
what
wanted to get busy. This wasn't your bedroom producer, beat maker kind of keyboard. This was a keyboard for the working musician. Somebody that does gigs. Somebody that's in a band. So since 2011, the KRONOS was basically the best keyboard out.
Trying to see what that on the hat.
You know what I'm saying? It was the creme de la creme. If anybody asked you, hey bro, what's the top keyboard I should get? They'd be like, well, if you can afford it, I'd pick up a KORG KRONOS. And they'd be like, really? Oh, okay, I'll get one. How much is it? Yeah, it's about $4,000. But oh, okay, I'll think about it, man. I'll come back and talk to you about the KRONOS. Yeah, okay, whatever. But that was the KRONOS. The KRONOS was a top of the line keyboard. Like a lot of big time musicians got busy on a KORG KRONOS. Like Jordan Rudess got busy on the KRONOS, or the great Herbie Hancock got busy on a KORG KRONOS.
Right there.
Herbie Hancock got so busy on the KRONOS that KORG gave him a free one.
Wow.
Remember Herbie Hancock back in the 90s? He used to do all those infomercial for Bose speakers.
Oh,
remember
yeah.
The lifestyle Bose speakers, the little cubes you put around your room? Herbie
my
was going in on
mom has one of those.
Let me tell you something. When it hit 2011 and he jumped on that KRONOS and touched them keys, Herbie has not left since.
He autographed it too.
Smiling from ear to ear in the KORG facility playing the.
Got a little interruption. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Had a little network interruption. Let's keep going.
Kronos, just jamming, man. It could be late at night. The janitor could close the lights, be like, Herbie, we're closing. He's in there playing, man. Next day in the morning, they're like, Herbie, you still in there? He's smiling, playing that Kronos.
That's the big old smile he got going on.
If you ever in your life step up to Herbie Hancock and put another keyboard in front of him and say, hey, man, this is a new keyboard I have. It's Yamaha, whatever. You want to try it? Herbie will look at you and just say, nah, for this gig, I think I'll play the drums. I think I'll play drums for this gig. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, Herbie, you don't play drums. You play keyboard. You play piano. Be like, nah, well, this time I'm gonna play drums. Do not put another keyboard in front of Herbie Hancock. But I'm not mad at Herbie. He deserves a Kronos. He played with Miles Davis. The KORG KRONOS really sounded awesome. And this was mainly due because of its modeling technology. Now you might say, hey Native Shades, what's modeling? Well, you see the piece of gear that you have or that most people have has a sampling technology, meaning like the sounds in the gear that we usually have is a sample that we're playing back. But with the KORG KRONOS, some of the synthesizers in this unit and some of the sound engines in this unit uses a modeling technology. So while in a sampling technology, if you press a key, you're just going to hear back a sample of a sound, of a piano sound or whatever. But in a modeling technology, when you press the key, an algorithm is generating a sound. Not only when you press the key, but how hard you press the key.
Oh, okay.
How long you keep your finger on the key. The relationship from the key that you're pressing now
like
and
velocity.
the last key you press. Like if there's some sort of like resonance or reverb still going on, it's creating an algorithm to create a particular sound for that key that you're pressing. Because of this, a lot of musicians love the Kronos because they say you get that real live sound. Like a piano sounds like a piano in the Kronos. A violin sounds like a violin in the Kronos because of this technology. Now, not everything was great with the Kronos, To be fair, the Kronos did have some negative sides. Like, one of the negative things about the Kronos was that Native Shades never owned a KORG KRONOS. I'm just playing.
Really?
But one of the negative things about the KORG KRONOS was a lot of people felt it was too expensive. A lot of people felt the price was up there. Some folks complained about it. Some folks complained about the small touchscreen. It was about 8 inches. And, it's an okay size, but it could have been a little bit bigger. Sometimes it was kind of a little bit too small.
I understand.
And if you're trying to, click some of those sections on there, you can miss them and things like that.
That's understandable.
And the Kronos was a little bit of menu diving. I mean, it really was a little bit of menu diving. If you was like, let's say, a beat maker, somebody that was used to just jumping on a machine and just going right at it, you probably wouldn't be the most comfortable just jumping into the KORG KRONOS because you had to go through a couple of menus.
True.
The workflow on the Kronos was pretty smooth, though. It was kind of like you would sample something. Like, let's say you sample your kicks in one track, snare on the other track, hi-hat on another track. So you got them going on in a sequence. Instead of saying how many bars you're doing in a sequence, they would ask you how many measures.
Right.
So you'd have it go for like measure 1 to measure 4 or something like that. And you'd basically overdub it with whatever keys you're playing or synthesizer you're playing or whatever melody or bass that you're playing. Or you could actually use the machine kind of like a SP404 where you can loop everything. So you can sample everything as a loop. So you could sample a drum loop, you could create a melody and put that into a loop, create another bass melody, put that into a loop, and basically when you're holding the key down, it'll play the loop, and when you let the key go, the loop will stop. So
Wow.
now you can
That's
kind of
pretty awesome.
program your beat or your sequence that way if you felt more comfortable with that way. So the Kronos really allowed you different ways to work the device. But most people played on the Kronos, and you know, like I said, it was really for like the musician. It was really for the working musician kind of guy. So they usually just played on the Kronos, and they would connect it to something like their DAW and just use the Kronos
Wow.
just for the sounds. It's a sound module,
Okay.
and just as a keyboard so that they could play great music. All in all, the KORG Kronos was a pretty innovative keyboard workstation when it came out. Since then, they came out with a Kronos X version, a Kronos 2 version, a Kronos LS version, all having a bigger hard drive, more legendary songs, a lighter key bed, just new innovative stuff to make
Right.
the Kronos name stand strong. So yeah, that's the KORG Kronos. What had happened was, so this is your boy Direct.
All right, cool. This was a good episode. What happened was learning about the KORG Kronos. You know what I mean, it's definitely interesting with these stories with these keyboard-based production too as well too. Something, I mean, like I say, 9 out of 10 they were pretty expensive to get compared to like the other tools as well too, but definitely were useful for sure. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.